Hello and welcome to Newspade. In today's video, we are going to discuss everything about one of the most important issues in the US higher education system right now, and that is the story that is unfolding between Harvard University and the current Trump administration.
We now turn attention to the Trump versus Harvard saga that still continues to play out.
President Trump is escalating his attacks on Harvard University. Just days after a federal judge temporarily halted his administration's ban on Harvard enrolling international students, the president is now demanding, quote, names and countries of the thousands of international students at the Ivy League school.
President Donald Trump's crackdown on Harvard University is leaving its students with whiplash. The judge ruled Friday to temporarily halt the ban on Harvard's international student enrollment. But the Trump administration's announcement this week sent students into a panic. One incoming freshman called the news a heart-drop moment.
Next, the US government says it's blocking the prestigious Harvard University from enrolling foreign students with immediate effect. Well, Harvard relies heavily on fees from overseas students, and those currently studying there will now have to transfer elsewhere.
I do, but a lot of the people need remedial math. Did you see that? Where the students can't add 2 and 2 and they go to Harvard. They want remedial math, and they're going to teach remedial math at Harvard. No, wait a minute. So why would they get in? How can somebody that can't add or has very basic skills, how do they get into Harvard?
So just for context, as of now, Harvard University has sued the federal government not just once but twice, and Trump administration almost took away the ability of Harvard University to enroll international students. Although this ability of enrolling international students was taken away for less than 24 hours, it was still taken away from an educational institution. But what led to all of this? Let's unfold this in this video, so stay tuned till the end. So it all started after October 7th, 2023. What happened on that date? Israel invaded and attacked Palestine. What ensued after that is well known across the world, especially in the US, wherein millions of people got down on the streets and demanded that US intervenes into stopping this so-called genocide, as they call it. But what happened next was even more important for lawmakers and people in the US political sphere, and that was the location of these protests. The protests for pro-Palestine agenda were actually increasing in numbers and size, and most of them were happening across educational institutes in the US, and that too very prominent and well-known institutions like Columbia University, Yale University, New York University, and also Harvard University. We all know what happened at Columbia University. Students occupied buildings, Butler Library, New York Police Department officials were called on campus and essentially arrested students. Students were charged and also presented in Manhattan Criminal Court. Although these charges were later dropped, but students continued to face disciplinary actions. What happened at Harvard is actually very different than what happened at Columbia University. So for a year and a half after the initial attack of Israel on Palestine, nothing happened. Everything started in the beginning of this year, that is January 2025. In January 2025, Donald Trump, the current US president, signed an executive order aimed at what he calls foreign influence and rising anti-Semitism at US institutions and campuses. What this executive order actually wanted was that all universities in the US, schools and colleges that receive federal funding should pass on information of student protests on campus, disciplinary actions, and also links to foreign governments. The basic aim of this order was said to be to curb anti-Semitism and monitor alien students and staff, which essentially is foreign nationals. The executive order also demanded that international students' affiliation and their linkages should also be shared with the federal government, especially of students that come from China, Iran, and Palestine. What essentially was meant in this executive order was that if Harvard University doesn't comply with these requirements, it could lose the 2.3 billion US dollars worth of federal funding that it receives for research programs and other activities. The order also stated that Harvard University could also lose its tax exempt status if they don't comply with these requirements in curbing anti-Semitism. So Harvard University obviously did not comply with these requirements of federal government and went one step ahead. Harvard University actually filed a lawsuit against Department of Homeland Security and other federal government agencies, stating that the threat to federal funding is actually against the First Right Amendments and goes against the ethos of academic freedom. In early April 2025, Trump administration sent out an official letter to Harvard President Mr. Alan Garber. The letter demanded that federal government be provided with the information on student organizations on campus, disciplinary measures and actions taken against students who are of international origin, and also their correspondence with faculty. Obviously, Harvard University once again did not comply with these requirements. Harvard University said that providing any information on students would actually be a violation of student privacy and would go against the FERPA Act, which is Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. FERPA Act was basically introduced to safeguard the documents of students enrolled at US universities and institutions, meaning that if a student is enrolled at any US institution, their information regarding their academics, their immigration status, or anything related to their activities on campus cannot be shared with any third party without the permission of the student himself or herself. And Harvard President Mr. Garber actually stated that sharing any information about any student with the federal government will be a violation of this act. So what happened after that was around mid-April 2025, the Department of Homeland Security sent out another letter to Harvard administration. In that letter, they demanded that all the information about all the international students enrolled at Harvard be submitted to the federal government. And they also threatened that if they don't comply with this, Harvard University might actually lose its ability to enroll international students, meaning that it could lose its SEVIS certification, which stands for Students and Exchange Visitors Information System. SEVIS is basically a system wherein all the information about foreign nationals is documented who are coming into the US to pursue any academic or research programs. And if a university loses that certification, they cannot essentially enroll international students because they will not be able to help them get the visas. Harvard responded to these requirements around April 30th. It provided a brief but detailed account and refused to provide information of individual students, and things just escalated from there. On May 22, 2025, the Department of Homeland Security actually revoked the SEVIS certification of Harvard University, meaning that Harvard University could no longer enroll international students, affecting more than 7,000 international students that it enrolls every year. Trump administration's reason, they said that Harvard University is actually complying with anti-Semitism activities on campus by not giving out the essential information to the federal government. It all lasted less than 24 hours. Harvard University sued the federal government for the second time. In the second lawsuit, Harvard University claimed that the visa move was an unnecessary escalation and it violated both administrative law as well as students' rights. The case was filed in Massachusetts federal court. Federal Judge Alison Burroughs signed a temporary restraining order that allowed Harvard University to enroll students and removed all the visa restrictions that were imposed by federal government and the Trump administration on Harvard University. Although this fight is far from over, one lawsuit still remains in the court system, which was about threatening $2.3 billion worth of federal funding that the current US government provides to Harvard University. One may argue that why such a well-reputed university, which is known across the world and has one of the largest endowment funds standing at $53 billion would require, want or need federal funding. The answer is very simple, that these institutions are not just academic, they also engage in a lot of research that directly or indirectly helps the government in building technology for the future. So in simple words, these universities often take up research that might directly or indirectly benefit their own government in having a better system of putting themselves on the map. So that's why the federal funding is very important for these universities. The Trump versus Harvard showdown is definitely far from over, and it's turning out to be one of the biggest stories in higher education systems in the US, a country which is well known for foreign education across the world that attracts more than 1 million students from all across the world every year. Let us know in the comments what you think about this whole Harvard versus Trump debacle, and we'll get you the latest information as soon as we can. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep paying your dues for a better tomorrow.